I got a tweet from one of y'all that said, hey, JD, what are your dark horses? What are the teams that you're picking to make some noise within the college football landscape? So the way that I wanted to view this was teams within respective Power 5 conferences that have a chance, in my mind, to potentially win the conference. This is not a prediction segment. I want to get out in front of that as much as possible. We're not picking these teams to win their conference. I'm not picking these teams. I'm just saying that's a time for a later show. All right? Can we all just enjoy the fact that it's May? So without further ado, I got one team from each Power 5 conference that I think is a dark horse to make some noise and potentially have a chance to win that conference. So let's start with the SEC. And I was sitting down to do this, and Tennessee came to my mind. And I looked at Tennessee, and I was like, yeah, but are they really a dark horse? Like, the last thing I wanted to do was be lame for y'all right now. I didn't want to just pick a dark horse and have it be the team that has, like, the third best odds, because we see people do that in our industry, and it's like, oh, great, you picked a dark horse. Not really a dark horse. It's not what the conversation, not what the exercise is for. And so I took a look at what the SEC title odds were, and I was shocked. I mean, I had to take a second. Tennessee has the fifth best odds to win the SEC. They're at plus 1,700. Now, I understand that Georgia's back-to-back national champs, but to have them behind Bama, to have them behind LSU, I understand if they're behind them, but to have them be fifth best, that was surprising to me. And so then I sort of rolled the shoulders a little bit and sat down to get after this segment, because Tennessee being fifth best in the SEC in terms of odds to win the conference, I think that is if you're a gambling individual, those are great odds for you. Because Joe Milton, I think outside of the Tennessee bubble, is just getting straight up disrespected. Did y'all not see what he did in that game against Clemson? Did y'all not see what he did in the Orange Bowl? I don't feel like that's just a one-off. I think that's a preview to the movie we're going to get in 2023. I know Jalen Hyatt's gone. I know Hendon Hooker's gone. Guess who's not gone? Josh Heupel, the architect behind that offense that absolutely ran roughshod over college football last year. Joe Milton can deal the rock now. Also, they got some playmakers. Squirrel White, going to be a dude for him. Brew McCoy, going to be a dude for him. I don't think Tennessee's going anywhere. The way they could really challenge for an SEC title, if that defense, you've heard me say this before, if that defense just gets a little bit better. You don't got to be locked down. You don't got to be the 85 Bears, but if you can just get a little bit better, Tennessee could make some noise in the SEC. But at fifth best odds, a dark horse, by definition, will take it. We'll take Tennessee to be our dark horse in the SEC, and we'll laugh and smile about it all the way through. Okay, make sure you're subscribed right here. Make sure you're locked into the On3 YouTube channel. Shout out to everybody watching live. We love y'all. If you're not watching live, we are live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. So come join the party. Also follow me on Twitter. Follow me on the gram at JDPakel. All right, that's the SEC. Let's move on to the Big Ten Conference now. We love us some Big Ten. A lot of people are going to say their dark horse is Penn State. Ooh, real bold pick. Penn State. That's nice. I like that. It's not a dark horse, so get out of here with that. If you hear someone say Penn State's a dark horse in the Big Ten Conference, just sort of bite your tongue and walk away, because I don't think that's a dark horse. A dark horse that I have for you, though, is Wisconsin. They're at plus 650, fourth best odds, first-year head coach. When it comes to betting on college football, when it comes to betting on dark horses, I think you bet on people, right? I think you bet on the individual and the person behind the operation. And I'll say this, I've said it many times now, I've made it very well known. I would follow Luke Fickell into a dark alley. That's just the way that it works. I think he knows how to put together winning football teams. His resume proves that. Let's say this too. There's so much smoke around the new offense and Phil Longo and the air raid and Tanner Mordecai, all the receivers from the transfer portal. That's a real thing. That is a very real thing. That's who I think they'll try to be. But even if that falls apart, let's just say the air raid, for whatever reason, flames out, catches on fire, no bueno. Still got Braylon Allen, right? Like, what's that movie, that Marvel movie, Nick, where they say, well, we have a Hulk. Like, they have Braylon Allen, and Braylon Allen is their version of the Hulk. At the very worst case scenario for Wisconsin, turn around, hand the ball to zero. Not a bad offensive game plan. You have two quarterbacks in Evers and Mordecai that can be serviceable for you. So if you got to go back to the old way you did it at Wisconsin, I think that works just fine. I'll say this too. They don't play Penn State. They don't play Michigan. Big Ten West is very wide open. If I'm Luke Fickell and company, I'm telling those guys, hey, let's just get in the door in Indy. Just get us in that building. Get us in Lucas Oil Stadium. We'll handle that when it gets here. But I'm telling you, man, I would follow Wisconsin as a dark horse. I think Luke Fickell is that dude. It's no secret, man. I got a program crush on Wisconsin. Sue me. All right? Well, no, don't sue me. I'm not prepared to handle that legally, but that's who we like in the Big Ten. Move on to the ACC here. And now we're going to another dark horse, as that's what the segment is. NC State is our dark horse in the ACC. They are at plus 1,500 to win the conference. They have the fifth best odds. I looked at this and I was like, fifth best odds? Plus 1,500? Man, put some respect on Dave Doeren's name. Have we not seen what this man has built at NC State over the last couple of years? Have we not seen just year in and year out he puts together competitive teams? I understand they lose a lot on defense. That's why they're a dark horse. That's why we're getting the odds that we're getting at NC State. But Dave Doeren now, he puts together solid defenses year in and year out. It feels like to me. Also, are we going to act like Brennan Armstrong wasn't just him in 2021 when he was at Virginia with Robert Anae? And Robert Anae is now the OC at NC State. Brennan Armstrong is now going to be the quarterback at NC State. Those two are back together now. Last time they were together, Brennan Armstrong threw for 31 touchdowns and over 4,400 yards. Why are we sleeping on NC State so hard? I get there's Clemson. I get there's Florida State. Heck, I get that Drake Mays at UNC. I'm all about it, but we're picking a dark horse here. Let's take a closer look at NC State. Take a look at the pack. They get Louisville, Clemson, North Carolina, all at the crib. I like it. I like it a lot. Feels like the formula for a dark horse team in the ACC. So we'll roll with them as our dark horse in that conference. Top on a jet. Probably have to take a connecting flight, Nick, as we get to the West Coast. And in the Pac-12, I like Oregon State. I like Oregon State a whole heck of a lot. They're at plus 900 odds, fifth best to win the Pac-12. And they're a team that just knows who they are. They got an identity about themselves. Breaking in a new quarterback, a lot of talent. I think he's got something to prove in DJ Uiagalelei. And I like the schedule. Anytime you pick a dark horse, you got to take a look at the schedule. They got Utah, UCLA, Washington, all at home. It's where you insert the eyes emoji right here. You're looking around and saying, all right, y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Fifth best odds, a team that won 10 games a season ago. All right. Jonathan Smith has those boys playing. So I like Oregon State to be a dark horse within that conference. All right, now for the Big 12, like Texas Tech, they're at plus 1,200 odds, fourth best in the Big 12. And here's what it comes down to for me now. Tyler Shuck has been dinged up a little bit throughout his career. Was a four-star kid coming out of high school. He can spin the rock now. He can spin that pill. I said it before about other quarterbacks. He can deal the pill like a shady pharmacist. That's who he is. I like Tyler Shuck. Now, I love Zach Kittley. Zach Kittley coming over from Western Kentucky. Shout out Nick Brake. He's an alum of the Hilltoppers. Zach Kittley was just a Hogwarts grad when it came to what he did with that offense at Western Kentucky. They scored over 30 points a game last year at Texas Tech with him running the show. They bring back 75% of that production. Taj Brooks, grown man carrying the football for them. Now expect him to see a load of the carries. I'm excited for them. They score over 30 points again on offense. And if that defense picks it up a little bit, that defense can sort of hold their water a little bit better. Look out in the Big 12 now, because those dudes will play for Joey McGuire. They will run through a brick wall for that man. Same thing I said about Wisconsin. You're betting on people. I'm following Joey McGuire into battle with a blindfold on, just aimlessly, just feeling my way through the battlefield behind Joey McGuire. That's how confident I feel about Texas Tech. That's how much confidence this team has in their head coach. The Big 12 now, wide open. Wide open. We think we know what we know about Texas, think we know about Oklahoma. I'm just saying, keep an eye on Texas Tech. And if you don't believe me, look at what TCU did last year as a dark horse. They missed a bowl game and played for a Big 12 title. Didn't even win the thing, though. Kansas State won it. So those are my dark horse teams in the SEC. Like the Vols. Can't believe they're a dark horse, but like the Vols. 5th best odds in that conference. In the Big Ten, we like Wisconsin. Surprise, surprise. In the ACC, we like NC State as a dark horse. In the Pac-12, we like Oregon State. The Beavs and Jonathan Smith, they're up to something. In the Big 12, we like Joey McGuire and the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.